What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the 3829 podcast. If you don't know by now, I'm your host, Trey. Now, before we get into it, excuse me for the charger, man. I forgot to charge the headphones up, bro. So don't get on me too bad in the comments. But before we jump into it, make sure you hit a like, comment, and that subscribe button. And I'm going to let y'all holler at Ice one time before we jump into it.
What's up, 3829 family? Did you miss me?
Man, so to start it off, man, it is a lot going on over there in Cleveland, man. It's a lot going on in Cleveland. So, first things first, we'll just go over this quickly. Joe Flacco was named QB1 over there in Cleveland. I've already gave my thoughts on it, but I'll give my thoughts on it again. That don't make no sense. It don't. Because realistically, Joe Flacco is not going to be a Super Bowl quarterback this year. He's not taking you to the Super Bowl. And even if he does, it's not like he's going to follow it up again next season. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing for this squad is to develop them with one of these quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Develop the whole squad with the quarterback. Develop that chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Dylan Gabriel or it's Shador. It don't make no sense to throw Joe Flacco out there when he's not going to be a part of your future. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I said this already on the last episode, so I ain't gonna go too much in detail into it again. But Ice, what you got to say on this decision for Joe Flacco to be QB1 week 1 of the regular season?
I mean, we kind of already figured this is what the Browns was gonna do. Fans can scream at you till they black and blue in the face. It don't matter. People going, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna do what they want to do. I guess they feel as though like they could probably make, you know what I'm saying, a playoff push this year, and they want, Flacco to be the guy. I get it. He got, like I said last week, he got his experience. He wins you some games with, veteran IQ and all that. He is a Super Bowl champ, right? Though I don't think he'll be appearing in any more Super Bowls, right? But I mean,
Yeah,
it's
just to
pretty
clear
much
that
what
up really
everybody.
quickly, when I said he's not a Super Bowl QB, I meant going forward, like this season. Yes, he has, appeared in Super Bowls before, but now he's not a Super Bowl QB. But sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to get that clarification. But go back into what you were saying.
Yeah, nah, and yeah, the Browns QB room is pretty interesting, right? Um, uh, Personally, me, I think if they are going to cut a guy, it should be Kenny Pickett. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's just my personal take on it, right? You already know who I think should be QB1, and we'll get into it a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, this is a expected move. I don't think it's a great move, but it's an expected one, right? And so with that, ain't too much. We'll see. I expect there to be some change around like week 5, week 6. I do, you know, just because. But time will tell. Week 1 ain't week 18, so we'll see how the season goes, right?
No, for sure. We'll definitely see how the season goes. But like I said, I just think that this is a dumb move just all around. Like you're wasting time to build chemistry with either one of the quarterbacks. And honestly, if you genuinely don't plan on utilizing one or the other, I'm not saying this season, but both of these guys I feel like can be productive. You get what I'm saying? We seen Dylan Gabriel go out there last or this previous game. Yes, he did throw an interception, but outside of that, he looked very comfortable out there. You know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion. And then, like I said with Shador the game before, Shador looked comfortable as well. He didn't look like he was, I said 2 plays he looked rushed. There were 2 plays that he looked rushed. But outside of that, Shador looked very comfortable. Shador looked like he knew what, he knew how to play the game. And that's all it really is do these guys know how to play the game? Or are they going to continue to develop? Because we've seen guys that, have had college success, but are unable to translate that to the NFL. And I think that's the main thing right now is that you want the guys, or it seems like Cleveland wants guys that, have had NFL success before, just throwing a college quarterback in there. And that's just my personal take on it.
Yeah, which I get it, right? You want veteran guys on that squad and hope that they mentor. Obviously, everybody doesn't, right? People are selfish gatekeepers and all that, but
Nah, for
the
sure.
hope is that you mentor them, or maybe this move keeps Flacco happy. I don't know.
I mean, why are you worried about keeping Flacco happy?
Who knows anything with the Browns at this
Nah,
point?
for real.
Yeah,
But I think
moving on.
I think that they should look to, if you a move should be made sooner rather than later. Now, obviously, it's kind of hard to do because if you move Shador and decide to keep Dylan Gabriel, then now you're betting on. Now you're basically just placing all your chips in that bucket. But then on the flip side, you just have 2 quarterbacks, like I said, that can be effective in the NFL, I believe. And I know all we've seen from them was preseason play in the NFL level, but I do believe both of these guys can be effective. And I do think that given the opportunity, both of them can definitely at least be good quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're going to be great generational, but they both have the potential to be good quarterbacks at this moment. You get what I'm saying? Now, sitting them on the bench, all that's going to do is kill confidence. All that's going to do is, slow progression. You get what I'm saying? Because if they on the bench, then in practice you're not giving them first team reps. You get what I'm saying? I mean, they may get some reps, but they're not getting all the reps because at the end of the day, Joe Flacco needs those reps to prepare for the upcoming games. You get what I'm saying? So that just slows regression. I mean, that slows progression. And I don't agree with the move, but that's why I say that one of them should be moved. You get what I'm saying? Because both of them, I feel, have good value. You can say what you want to say about Shador. Yes, for some reason he dropped down to the fifth round, but I feel like if you ring a team like the Colts line, who desperately need a quarterback, again, desperately need a quarterback, then they gonna pick up, and you gonna be able to pick up something off of them. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I gotta say on Joe Flacco being QB1. But to stay on the topic of the Browns, Dylan Gabriel was talking hot. He was
Mm.
talking hot. He said there's entertainers and there's competitors. And I'm a competitor. Now, later, he walked back the statement because we know what he meant by entertainers and competitors. We know who he was talking about when he said entertainers and competitors. Who he's talking about? Who's he talking
I
about?
mean, he literally repeated a quote from his college coach when they were playing Colorado. Like, are we serious? Like, you literally quoted that man word for word, right? And then you tried to walk it back later and say it wasn't a shot at Shador. Of course, it was a shot at Shador.
Nah, for real. But
Dylan,
I will say
let me,
this. I will
hold
say
on,
this.
hold on. Let me say this. Dylan, let me tell you something, bro. You only talked about because you on the same team as that quote unquote entertainer.
Oh, damn. Damn. That's how you feel? That's how you feel?
Man, if we gonna really dissect and digest, cause why does Shador got to take all these hits?
No, facts.
Not just from the media, not just from haters and fans. But now he got to take it from people in the Browns organization. He got to take hits from the owner, some of
But
the coaches.
I hear what you're
He
saying.
told,
I hear what you're
and
saying.
now
No, no,
he's
no, no.
taking teammates.
No, I
Are
hear
we
what you're
serious?
saying. I hear what you're saying. But you gotta also flip it because the same amount of hate that Shador has been receiving is the same amount of people that's saying that he shouldn't be receiving it and he should be QB1 and he's light years above Dylan Gabriel. Is that not what the narrative is? So, and and people giving Shador his respect, they're giving Dylan Gabriel a backhand. You know what I'm saying? He's getting thrown shade. No, he definitely has. He definitely has. He's been getting thrown plenty of shade because, people feel like Shador is better than him and Shador should have the opportunity or at least have got the selection that he received. You know what I'm saying? They don't
Okay,
feel that.
a organization's fault, right?
No, I hear you. But then you also talking about how Shador is getting it from his teammates. Well, was Myles Garrett, a captain on the Browns, not backing Shador? What does that mean? That he's not supporting Dylan Gabriel. Meaning that Dylan Gabriel's also catching it from the teammates. But it may not be, a straight on blow, but he's catching strays by them saying, oh yeah, Shador should be put in this position, basically saying Dylan Gabriel should be pushed back.
Okay, but understand this, right? So the whole reason, right, that Shador was getting backed was because, well, look, number one, dog, Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett was both injured. So now it's like, okay, so he's the only QB
No, but
right now.
it's not about him being QB1
Let me finish.
that
Let
week.
me.
It's about the whole narrative this whole off season about
Oh,
okay, but without Dylan Gabriel being hurt or not, it's about okay,
oh,
Shador should be. People truly believe
oh,
Shador is
hey,
better than Dylan Gabriel, and I'm not gonna say that Dylan Gabriel's
right.
better or Shador's better at this current moment. But what I am gonna say is that people have been very vocal about feeling that Shador is better, and in Dylan Gabriel's defense, he was on the number one. He was the quarterback. He was the quarterback.
Were they not? Were they not injured? Were Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel not injured?
That's not what
That's
I'm
one of the
saying.
main reasons they said Shador needed more reps. It's because they injured, and it's like, bro, if he's going to play, then he needs reps. There is no reason Shador should have to stay after practice to get reps with the first and second team.
That's true, but that's not what was being said. You're trying to spin it. What was being said was week 1, Shador should be QB1. That was the narrative. Everybody is saying
The
Shador's better than
fans,
Dylan Gabriel and analysts and all these other people, all these other people on different podcasts. What'd you say?
the analyst was hating on Shador and praising Dylan Gabriel before he even stepped foot in that preseason game.
Nah. The former players were all backing Shador saying he should be QB1 before either of them had taken a snap preseason wise. You know what I'm saying?
What about Ryan Clark and Dan Orlowski?
But you're naming 2. I can name 10 that were on saying that Shador is better than Dylan Gabriel. When technically, obviously we could talk about the team as a whole, but Dylan Gabriel was able to, lead a squad to, a better record in a better conference, playing better competition. So he's like, it's not even about what my team did overall. I've been playing better competition than you. You get what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and then in
understand.
college, and let's be real. Let's be real. Yes, Shador went to smaller schools because that's where his father was at. But and I'm not saying that Shador didn't do nothing great in college, but being at the school Shador was at, Shador probably wouldn't have got the attention like he did if it wasn't for Dion. Let's be real.
Well, that's the whole point. I mean, Bronny doesn't get drafted. if LeBron ain't his dad? Like, what are we talking about here? You know
I
what I'm
know,
saying?
but that's the thing. So that's why he's saying entertainers is okay. You're here because okay, y'all had a TV show or whatever you want to call it, little reality show over there in Colorado. You know, Travis Hunter was over there, Deion Sanders was over there. What was you act? You feel me? So you had your dad, who's a Hall of Fame. No. Let me finish. You had your dad over there, who's a Hall of Famer and NFL Hall of Famer. Then you had the number 2 overall pick. You get what I'm saying? So me, you feel me? I played better players all season long, and it's like, bro, you wouldn't have been thought of for real. And I'm not saying Shador not good, but let's be real. If Travis wasn't over there, and if Deion wasn't over there. So that's why he like, y'all entertainers. Y'all had this reality show all season. Y'all didn't perform. Y'all didn't win nothing. You get what I'm saying?
He won 2 bowl games at Jackson State, but I'll digress. I'll digress because here's the thing, right? Here's what's really make and to go back to that point where people were saying for some reason he fell to the 5th round. Remember on Jeff Teague's podcast when he was talking about Shador's contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um if Shador would have been a 1st round pick with the contract he currently has, that would have set a precedent, right? So he gets, there's a clause, right, where like he gets, a percentage of his jersey sales, right? According to reports, he's already made $14 million just based off of jersey sales. So he's made more money off of more money than his current contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the business side. Got to remember the NFL is a business, and they want to prevent certain things from happening that would make them have to fork over money, right? See, the benefit of him having Dion is Dion can teach him the business savvy side. He can teach him the market, all that, right? I don't think he should be punished for having all that. It's not like he goes around acting like he was some struggle kid. No, he knows he was fortunate. He knows he was privileged, right? And he wants to take advantage of that and capitalize and keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, why we criticizing him for having some help, right? We ain't criticizing the Mannies. For,
But at the same time, Arch Arch has not necessarily gotten anything handed to him. You get what I'm saying? Yes, he had the name as a birthright. You get what I'm saying? But outside of that, he's done everything pretty much on his own too. You get what I'm saying? He performed in high school. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, he went to the same high school that everybody else went to, but he performed in high school. He did his thing in high school. And then not only, yeah, he went to Texas, but he was not an immediate starter. He sat on the bench for not 1 year, but 2. And then but what I'm saying is, you're saying Arch Manning when we're talking kind of about the nepotism kind of, and Arch Manning really didn't see a nepotism road. You get what I'm saying? Because this is going to be his first year starting as a junior. See what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he did nothing wrong. I'm not saying he did nothing wrong at all. But what I am saying is that Shador definitely, you see when you compare it to Arch Manning, you get what I'm saying? It's not like Deion was really out there recruiting a better quarterback or somebody to, feel whatever Shador wasn't feeling. You know what I'm saying?
so let me ask you this, right?
It's not like he ever
Manny,
had it's not like he ever had to worry about another QB coming in and taking his job. You get what I'm saying? So being at with Arch Manning, He had to earn the job, and he wasn't even able to take it away from Quinn Ewers, who we seen was not in the NFL eyes is not a highly touted prospect. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And I mean that's also the downside, right? If you bomb at a big school versus, you know what I'm saying, play well at a, I ain't gonna say a smaller school, but like a, a less looked at school, right? Like for instance,
I mean,
Kenny
Dylan
Pickett.
Gabriel didn't bomb. He just had a bad. They didn't play well in the playoffs.
I ain't saying Dylan Gabriel bombed. Hell no, he didn't bomb. Because you feel what I'm saying? 13-0 is impressive. And
No,
winning
for real,
the Big Ten championship, that's impressive.
especially
But we're
nowadays.
not gonna act like it was just him. You know what I'm saying? Now, yes, he was playing pretty daggone good, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take away from Dylan Gabriel or anything he's done. I'm just saying there is a jealousy with Shador. And I'm not just saying this about Dylan Gabriel. I'm saying this about a lot of people, right? We all know the main target audience for the NFL, right? I don't got to bring up the Colin Kaepernick stuff now, do I? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of hate that's being given, right? And yeah, he's getting a lot of love too, right? The love with the hate, right? That's combined with a lot of viewers. You get what I'm saying? It's no different than the Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark situation that's going on right now, right? It's going to combine for a lot of viewers. It just is what it is. And, you know, if we just, like, if the Browns just take a minute to sit back, I mean, I'd be surprised if they actually cut Shador, right?
No,
Because,
like I
like I said,
said, you can't do that because if you cut him or if you trade him away and he ends up, doing everything that a lot of people say that he can do, but he's just not being given the opportunity to do, then you look dumb. You get what I'm saying? You look like a
okay,
idiot.
absolutely, right? But yeah, we'll go on here. We'll get into that Browns Eagles preseason game. Um, I did not expect it. I did not expect that conversation to go that long.
No,
But
facts.
but
No,
yeah, what actually
no,
was
but like
going
I
on?
was saying, no, just to pick up on what you was talking about. Like I said earlier, man, I don't feel like Dylan Gabriel played bad. Obviously we seen the interception, but I felt like he looked very comfortable out there. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I watched, and I saw his I saw the plays, right? I saw him out there. You know what I'm saying? Movements were cool. He played a solid game. As far as we obviously do have to talk about the interception and the fumble, right? We have to talk about the interception, strictly because you know who would have been blasted all over the media if he threw an interception last week, right? We all know. Um, the one thing I do have a problem with is the effort to try to you know stop him from getting a pick six, right?
No, 100% because he 100% gave up. Now I do. At the same time, you do kind of got to take into account though that it is preseason, so you don't necessarily want to.
And everything like that. However, it does show heart, right? It's like, okay, if I make a mistake, am I gonna give up or am I gonna, you know what I'm saying? Because the Eagles, they didn't even have their first. I don't even believe they had their first or second string out there, right?
Man, listen, and
So
in his defense, I listen. I feel like that was preseason effort. You know, he made an effort. He seen that the block was there. Ain't no point in, you know, risking an injury or taking a hard hit when it's not necessary. You get what I'm saying? Yes, it will look bad to the average fan. You get what I'm saying? It'll look bad, but realistically, let's say he goes for the tackle, bro drops the shoulder, he takes a hit, or he gets blocked and it's a, you know, a good hit, and now bro looking at a injury that's gonna put him out for a couple of weeks. And not saying that we all know that he wasn't gonna start, but that's practice reps that he missing out on. You get what I'm saying? It's little stuff like that. So yeah,
I do
obviously.
understand. Yeah, and again, I do understand that aspect of it, but that I mean, it looks bad because it looks like a lack of heart or a lack of effort, right?
That's what I'm saying. It looks
Um,
like that, but at the end of the day, I feel
and
like
the
that's
fumble.
preseason effort. I feel like now in the real game. Does he try? I feel like he does try to, you know, push him out of bounds, or, you know, at least make a attempt on the tackle. Not saying he brings him down, but at least, you know, try to get him out of bounds, or at least get hands on him. You get what I'm saying? In the regular season, I think he at least gets hands on him. But preseason, I don't think that it was worth it. For what? He not forcing a fumble. He most likely don't even take him down. So what really is the point? You get what I'm saying?
I mean, it's just the effort. But speaking of the fumble, right? The reason that was so bad was because again, right? That was an opportunity that, you know what I'm saying, was capitalized on, right? So these turnovers wouldn't be as bad if they didn't turn into opportunities for the other team to score. You get what I'm saying? That's why it's so bad, right? And again, right, we talk about the Dylan Gabriel Shador comparison, right? I hate doing it because it's kind of unfair. And I know they both just trying to play football, but you know, the media gonna have their narratives, right? But it's like, right, we all know that if Shador did that last week, or heck, if he was playing this week and he did that, right? They would indeed be talking about that all over ESPN, Fox, wherever. They'll be talking about that all week long and how he ain't ready for the NFL. He's garbage, everything, right? Now, I don't think now, you know what I'm saying, to say Dylan Gabriel is bad because of these, you know what I'm saying, these these turnovers. Nah, right? It's preseason, right? And preseason is where you want these mistakes to happen so that you learn from them, right? And you know, we don't carry these habits, right, into the regular season.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
100%. That's why
But
I was saying, like, get like take that's why I'm taking it with a grain of salt. Obviously, you don't want to see your quarterback throw any interceptions, but at the end of the day, if no interceptions, one, nobody's gonna throw no zero interceptions throughout the season. If you throw zero interceptions, that means you took zero shots. Realistically, you get what I'm saying. If you threw zero interceptions, you most likely played it too safe. Cause I'm willing to guarantee you will never see somebody throw 30 touchdowns and zero interceptions.
no, you'll have interceptions, right? And I mean, again, right? But outside of the fumble and the interception, Dylan Gabriel played pretty well, right? I think he did a great job of like reading what the defense was giving him and just taking it, right? He didn't overcomplicate it. He didn't, you know what I'm saying, do too much, right? He made the right reads and allowed his receivers to make plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is good. There's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I felt like Shador's game was a little more flashy, right? How he zip line, you know, a pass for a TD, threaded, you know, a needle.
But
You know what
here's
I'm
the
saying?
thing, though, and that's
Not
why.
ever.
Here's the thing, and that's why I feel like Shador gets the hate he does, is because the way he does it is a little bit more flashy. And flash is always going to be seen as unnecessary. So if he were to throw a pick last game, then on with also making flashy moves, that's what would have been the problem. You throw a pick, but then you putting the wrist up, and that's why you see the more hate getting thrown towards Shador, is because, like you said, he does have a flashier style of play,
Right.
which is why it's like somebody always showboating. You get what I'm saying? Or somebody
Mhm.
always trash talking. Like you hooping against somebody and they constantly in your ear trash talking, trash talking, trash talking. All you want to do is get them a bucket. You feel me? All you want to do is see them not necessarily do bad, but you want to see, you want to see somebody shut up this trash talk. You want to see somebody put a stop to this. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of why I feel like Shador gets that treatment from the media or certain media outlets. I'll say that because I wouldn't say it's all of the media, but certain media outlets.
Nah, for sure. I think that's valid. But one thing I'll say that is concerning is the fact that Dylan didn't throw any touchdowns. Right. A lot of his drives ended in what I'm saying, field goal tries and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, points is points, right?
No, for real.
Three is better than nothing. But unfortunately, right, when we're analyzing those turnovers and the fact that those turnovers turned into the same amount of points as those four field goal tries he led, then what I'm saying, now it becomes a damn. Right. You just undid all your good work off
Yep.
of those two plays. And it's kind of messed up, but that's how you gotta kind of analyze it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I know it's preseason, so I'm not trying to overreact. But what I'm saying, from what I'm seeing, I think it was a good, solid performance, right? And I'm actually excited to see, what I'm saying, what else he can do.
No, for
You know what I
sure.
mean? I want to see. I want to see.
No, I want to
I
see
don't want
both of these guys flourish. I
to.
want to definitely see both of these guys get the opportunity to do something somewhere. You know. Now, before we end it off today, I just want to spend a quick second, because we've spent a lot of time talking about a team with a lot of quarterback wealth, and I want to talk about a team that's in quarterback poverty. We've said it before. I'll say it again. Anthony Richardson not gonna do it for the Colts. Sorry to tell you, Daniel Jones not gonna do it for the Colts. Sorry to tell you.
Not at all.
No, for real. He not gonna
I'm
do it for us.
And I'm gonna tell you one thing. I ain't about to spend a whole lot of time talking about this dumpster fire and this garbage. All
No,
right,
for
they
real.
they just absolutely.
No, that's all
I
I had
can't.
to say. That's all I had to say.
That's it.
Now on that
Trey.
note, we out. All right, y'all. That's gonna do it for this episode, man. Make sure y'all hit that like, comment, and that subscribe on y'all way out. And I'm gonna let y'all holla at Ice one more time.
That's gonna do it for this episode 3829 family. If you like this episode, go ahead, leave a like and comment on the video, and make sure you share it. We're gonna see you on the next one. Peace.